or with chat.
Regular merchants no longer sell epic items. Okay.
All right, chat. Let's read over this real quick before we I guess end the stream. But we got a bunch of fixes here. Fix a rollback issue where the player would, or where players would revert to a previous state when exiting a dungeon. That's what I was talking about earlier with the red dungeons. The occultist boots movement speed was fixed. I think they had like some crazy, like 14 movement speed, fucking way too much. Fix an issue where curse and pain's instant damage would not occur when the warlock uses curse mastery. I didn't know that was happening, but that's good. Issue with power of sacrifice could not deal damage when the warlock uses curse mastery. Also good. Lantern torch additional movement has been adjusted to 0. What the fuck? They literally just changed that. Lanterns can now appear with random modifiers at the higher rarities. That's kind of cool. Damage for all daggers has been slightly increased. Rogue's trap detection range has been increased from 400 to 450. Rogue's jokester range has increased from 350 to 450. Rogue's ambush physical damage bonus changed from 30% to 50%. That's okay. Rogue's weak point armor rating reduction has been changed from 25 to 30%. That's also good. The duration has been changed from 3 seconds to 4 seconds. Ranger's chase range has been increased from 400 to 450. I don't really know what chase is. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I've never heard of that. Bard's warsong range increased 350 to 450. Bard's storyteller range increased from 350 to 450. Jack-o'-lantern has returned. Now, for all of the new players, Jack-o'-lantern was a special merchant last year around this time when the game was first in the first couple playtests. I think it might have been playtests too. Don't quote me on that. But it's essentially a special merchant. Really excited about that. Curious what he's going to have. Regular merchants no longer sell epic items. I don't know if I like that or not. But we'll see. The random modifier properties that appear on the colored rarity items have been reverted to give the much larger value range and larger variety, including the plus all attributes from before the previous patch. This means that checking the rolls for your items means just as much or more than just the color grade of the item. That's interesting, and I don't know what that means with the plus all or plus all attributes. I really hope that we're not getting +2 and +3 all attributes. Oh, chase range is detecting enemy footsteps. That makes a lot of sense. I've never used that. What's missing? Or Soul Reaper name changed to Soul Scraper. Okay. Soul Reaper, what? That's the Warlock spell? Oh, and then I missed another one. Sub-bosses and special chests such as Lion's Head, Golden Chest, Marvelous, and Royal Coffins will always give colored loot now. That's huge! Yo, Nectorious, thank you for the follow. That is a really cool change. Like, guaranteed loot from these items is going to make hotspots on the map, too, which I really like. You're going to be able to kind of, like, expect where people are going to be. What's missing from the patch number 1? The volume of the footsteps that occur when walking crouched has been slightly reduced. That's missing. And Barbarian's Iron Will now ignores knockback. Oh, that sounds pretty good. Developer notes, with the early access patch number 1, we wanted to have a clean baseline to start balancing the numerous weapons, armors, and classes. In order to do this, we needed to flatten and restrict the range of values of many of the parameters in the game. Our plan is to solely build up from the baseline with what we've observed and learned during the early access to get to a sweet spot that players across a wide range of needs can enjoy the game. Now that we've had our run with the nerf hammer, we'll start to work the dials and start working on some buffs one by one. We also realize that although the changes to the merchants had the intended effect of reducing the stress of gearing up, we may have made it a little too easy, thus disincentivizing the value of loot more than we wanted. In order to put more value into the higher grades of loot, we've decided to revert to more dynamic random modifiers from before early access patch number 1. We've also slightly tuned these modifiers so some of the more desirable stats are even better than before. That's pretty cool. But that's going to cause for a lot more like people that know how to build their kits are going to be way better. I'm telling you right now, people are going to be upset about gear because they don't know how to build kits, and the people that do know how to build kits are going to be even better. Then we go on to say we have also removed the epic items from the merchant store so that the higher grade items are even more valuable. Didn't they just say that? However, as an alternate means to still attain some of these high grade items outside the dungeons, we have reintroduced Jack-o'-lantern. Finally, we want to motivate players to still obtain these loots from inside the dungeon and have made the sub-bosses and special chests as special POIs that will always drop guaranteed higher quality loot. I love that. And I think what they meant by still being able to get these higher grade items outside of the dungeons means that we might get the rare candies back from early, the additional or the old playtest, if any of you guys saw that. But there was some rare candies that was a loot or a droppable. You could pick them up and trade them in for gear. That's pretty cool. I really like that a lot. And then they go on to say, thanks always for your patience and understanding as we build this game together. See you in the dungeons. Nice. Not a bad patch. That's not a terrible patch.
I feel like they undid the rogue nerfs.
Yeah, like, well, no. I actually, after I read the rogue nerf, or that's actually the buffs that I was talking about earlier when we were texting. Like, I thought that would be useful. Like the ambush. I guess the ambush is literally back to where it was. They just completely reset it, which is a little weird. The weak point though, they didn't, because it still doesn't have the bonus weapon.
That's basically the only nerf that's stuck.
Yeah.
Unless when it says daggers have been slightly increased, they brought them back a little bit and not all the way to where they were. I guess.
I really hope they're not all the way to where they were, because what was the point of doing that fucking patch if they're just gonna completely get rid of it?
Yeah.
I don't know. But I also think the jack-o'-lantern means we're gonna get the candies. Yeah, rogue does still have their hide reduced. That's fair.
Yeah,
I didn't think about that.
True. Wasn't thinking about hide.
Brandon's gonna come. Yeah, you fucking. We're not even able to play. Coming in all late.
Jokester buff.
Yeah, Jokester buff's pretty cool. The chase is the if you didn't see in chat, that's when rangers can hear footsteps further if they run that perk. I think that is a big dub on the epic item change, Irish. Yeah, this is a pretty good patch. I really like that they made it so like sub bosses and the good chest are a guaranteed colored grade.
Yeah, me too. That's really cool. Pretty needed, I think.
Yeah, I don't like the idea that they said they're bringing back plus all. I really hope that doesn't mean they're bringing back +2s and +3s.
Yeah, me too. What does it say?
It says
the plus attributes. What?
It says yeah, that they reset it the much larger value range and larger variety, including plus all attributes from before the previous patch. We're reading the patch notes, player. I really hope not.
I want the best.
They did just say that they're gonna have like the better stats are gonna be even better now. That's what I was saying in the chat. Like, if they fucking people that don't know how to kit are still gonna feel like people are more kitted than them because they don't know how to actually build, right? Because there is definitely a knowledge gap in how stats work for like a vast majority of players. But those that know how to build them, I think that's gonna be they're gonna be rolling people. But I guess that's see, I really don't like plus all.
I don't either.
It's a really bad fucking attribute to have into the game.
I think +1 is fine.
I agree. +1 is fine, but I don't think it. I feel like it should only be able to be on like like maybe just be able to get rolled on the chest, not like every single item, so that you can get like.
Give me it all.
Yeah, you can't compete with that if you don't have gear. Everything else you kind of can, but when you have every stat buff, it's just impossible.
Yeah.
I want